Hey, brother, how you doing?
What's up, Travell? Good job last
Good.
night.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I know I'm glad everybody was able to bag, grab that money.
Yeah, man.
As far as the young lady last night, if you are want to take Kim trades, jump on Sunday session and I dropped the link and we'll go over the trades and take them together.
Lower that down, number one. Cat. You don't get, as a matter of fact, turn it off.
Well done last night, Trevor.
Number
It's good.
two.
Appreciate it. I'm dead tired right now. I'm not even gonna lie to you guys, but I got my bag. I got my goal for the day, so I'm about to go enjoy happy hour with the wife.
Give me okay. So let
Wait,
me
real
go
quick
over.
question, bro. Did you grab that drop from SPX?
I didn't trade today. I traded one thing today, but because I'm doing some back testing this.
Okay, and EuroCAD too. I mean not EuroCAD, Euro ESD. People should have hit off of that too. I dropped that chart last night as well. That one, it's like 70-some points, something.
Can't understand you.
Then
You
and
breaking
it
up.
dropped another 50.
Okay, that's
Where are
cool.
David?
That's because somebody was calling. My fault.
All right, so let me go over this real quick on the alert tips real quick, and I want you to kind of see this. um, Learned some stuff too last week too, and I want to show you guys this as well. So uh, I prefer that when you guys make your alerts, if you're going to make your alerts, use the time frame you want to see it on, right? So for instance, if we wanted to have a break to trade the break of this right here for the buy break and this for the sell break, right? Now, if this was our trade, right, and we wanted to see a break of this high or break of this low, we want to see that trade break on the 15-minute, right? So this structure is coming from the 4-hour though, right? Even though we found the structure from the 4-hour. So once you guys get into the habit of creating the alerts on the time frame that you want to see the alert break on, right? So, and then another thing, instead of using a price alert, whenever you place your levels, your lines, your zones, right? That's what I want you to make the alert off of, right? So after you place this line right here, I want you to right click on it and add the alert from here, right? And we're going to keep all the conditions the same for this case. The option I'm going to use is once per bar, right? And then you'll set whatever. I usually set an expiration date on this because I want to make sure that this doesn't become this doesn't just become noise, right? That I don't pay attention to anymore, right? So if I get an alert off of this chart, I want to see it come within a certain, like this trade needs to happen between today and tomorrow, right? So I'm going to set my expiration date within that time frame. Show pop up, and then you should put something in the message besides whatever is here in the default, right? So I'll usually put something to the extent of 15-minute Euro AUD breaking for the buy at whatever the price is. In this case is 1.61119, right? If close above, buy, right? Something of value, right? So that so that you don't just have an alert going off and you don't remember why it happened, right? And a lot of times that's what end up happening. Like we'll have a bunch of alerts, like we have, like I got over here, and we won't know why the alert was triggered, right? Um, so I would take the same approach over here in this alert, edit the alert. I'm just gonna copy this real quick. Same thing for the sell. I'm gonna add an alert, cross, change the expiration on this, and then sell. So at any given point between now and whenever, I can change, I can look for this trade. So it'll be 0766, right? Um, and maybe since this is a little further away from where current price is, I'll probably just say keep the alert for at least a week, you know. Let's do Friday, right? So now if it comes back down here and it break and close below this, I'll know, even though it's days later, you know, that this should come back and I should look to take my trade from here, even though it may be days or weeks later. Also, it'll also let me know that, all right, cool, if it's still valid, right? Maybe it comes down here and it crosses it, but now it crossed it and I got a candlestick pattern that says is rejecting it, then maybe I don't consider it for the sell. I consider it for the buy, right? So that's the best way to do it, right? So if we're looking for our entries off a 15-minute time frame, then you make your alerts off of the 15-minute chart. If you were looking for an alert off of a 4-hour time frame, maybe maybe you want to look for price to reject on a daily somewhere up here, right? So maybe you want to put an alert, up here so that, you know, once price breaks above here on the daily, you may consider a rejection, from this area, right? So you may want to extend the alert for this to, it's a higher time frame. So I'm going to look for this from a higher time frame chart. So I'm going to look for rejection over here. Right? Because we know what happens with this being a heavy or a major zone right here, that we could get some rejection like we already did right here, right? Broke through, pushed back up, rejected, and then dropped for a sell. So we have an alert that's only going to be looking for it to be triggered from the daily time frame, right? Because by doing this, we're looking for that particular candle to come back to this area, across this area, right? On the daily time frame, which means that it has more validity, right? So when you're actually looking to set your alerts, one thing that I learned, of course, I learned all the time too, is you can do this based off of these horizontal lines. You can do this same thing. Maybe you want to do a trend line retest, right? Maybe you want to put a trend line right here and you want to alert when price crosses the trend line, right? On the daily or whatever the case is. Update your text, set your expiration, put your notes in there. And now This is another alert that'll help me to clarify. All right, every time it's come to this trend line, it rejected, 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 rejected right here. So maybe this is something in combination to this you want to use. I don't typically use individual price alerts. I noticed that um, there is a little I just don't like it because I think it's not as accurate as using one of the lines. I don't think it's really accurate. So that's why I recommend using the alerts um, this way, right? So with that being said, the third way you can make your alerts are, let's say you use certain indicators. One indicator that I use in particular is the higher high, lower low live indicator. Also, another one that I use is pivot points, right? So you can take your indicators that you create or that you use, and you can actually set alerts off of those indicators. So let's say we want to create an alert that will tell us when, and just looking at the price action, right, from the daily, we've had a higher high, a low, a lower high, a lower low, right? So would you guys anticipate, what would you guys anticipate as the next market structure to be made? And this is a question that I want to hear an answer to.
Corey, I can't see that so clearly. Could you zoom in a bit? Because I'm at the
Lower
end.
high.
Go
Yeah.
from a low high and go for a sell.
A lower high, right?
Hmm.
Okay, cool. So that's the correct answer, right? So with seeing how the market is structured, right? Where is it that, and this is not related to the question, right? I just want to see where you guys are. Where do you guys, where could we with a high probability predict that we would get a lower high
Trend line.
trend line, right? Trend line, right? I think
Yeah.
somebody just said it, right?
Yeah, the
And
trend line.
right, so we got the combination of this tool, right? These trend lines that confirm that we should soon make a lower high, right? So if I'm gonna make me using this tool, right? This allowed me to create an alert based off of this tool. So I'm gonna right click. The easiest way is to just right click on one of the little markers, add alert on higher high, higher low, more low, right? If you don't, if you don't, you can do it this way, but you can also just right click, create alert, and then change the condition to higher high, higher low, right? So our expectation is in this case for us to make a lower high, right? So I'm going to put an alert. I want to know when we make a lower high on the daily chart, and I want it to alert me because I'm probably going to look for a sell if I got that on this chart, right? So that's three ways you can do it. You can do it based off of price, which I don't recommend. You can base it off of trend lines and horizontal lines, and then you can do it based off of indicators themselves, right? Another cool indicator that people use a lot is moving averages. So, oops, this is not the one. So let's say you want to know, you want to add an alert when price crosses above. So we want to know when it's crossing above the moving average, right? You would take the same approach that we just mentioned, right? Right click it, add alert, crossing, moving average. Once per, right? You would put your notes right here. And now we got an alert that says when the price crosses above the moving average, then we get the alert based off of that, right? So that may be one thing that you want to, that may be another indicator that you would want to use. I don't use moving averages, but I do know a lot of people that use them. So just show you 4 good ways to do that. Let's see. High, high. Cot, there's a Forex. There's the Forex experience, but yeah, different. So, so, I don't have cot, so I'm not sure exactly. Um, not sure exactly what their differences are between the two. With cot, I think that is just the spreads that are different when you're using one versus the other. I think that's the only thing that's different.
Corey, what I think it is that they have some of the pairs as pro and then just have some as regular.
Hmm.
Like you have SPX Pro or US 30 Pro, and you have some of the Forex pairs as pro as well. So
Hmm.
they don't have to really use the pro, they can just use the regular ones.
Yeah, I think it's the just the spreads that are different. That's all. Whenever you can get the broker. The broker that I'm recommending right now um is Osprey FX. Um, it's really not, it's a decent broker. But the only reason why I'm really recommending it is because I don't want to recommend Hugo's Way and Cot Forex. Um, but they are like one of the only brokers that are accepting US accounts. If you are outside the US, you should still, I would recommend FX Choice still. But right now, FX Choice not accepting US clients for a few reasons. So um, yeah, so that is why I still would recommend FX Choice if you don't live in the US, or if some reason you open up the account and never used it, I would suggest using that account. I know a couple of people. I just got off the phone with somebody that has an FX Choice broker um, that they never used, and they don't like Cop Forex anymore. I'll just say it simple. So FX
Corey,
Choice.
I got a question. So that FX choice is, it's only if you had a live account, right? Not a demo account.
Live account. Now, can you use Cop Forex? I mean, and FX Choice, that's fine. They're not horrible, but I just don't deal with them too much anymore. And like, I only use my my Hugo's way to trade crypto, only really crypto. And but like indices, um, I just, I don't even have to use the indices for this, but I just like the way. Um, I just never had no issues with them. Maybe one time when their servers went down. That's the only time that I can remember. But I've had money taken away from me on at Hugo's way, and I just heard somebody have a bad story with Cop Forex today, and I had money taken from me on FX Choice one time, but that was when oil dropped to below zero. And I think that a lot of brokers were having issues at that time, so it wasn't just FX Choice. So those are the broker recommendations. And I'll go over another thing too, just going over break and retest again. I know you guys are struggling with entries, and I know you guys are struggling with entries. I think that's one of the hardest things that people have a difficulty with. One of the things people have a difficulty with is how to take a break and retest. And a lot of it has to do with patience. A lot of it has to do with patience. So um, let's look at a hypothetical zone, right? And let's just say we wanted to trade the break of this zone to here, right? This is our zone, and I'll box that off so you'll know exactly what area I'm referring to, right? We created a little area of consolidation right here, right? So hypothetically speaking, we're going to look to trade out of this area from this high. This would be our buy. This would be our sell, right? Now, somebody asked about back testing. This is actually a good way to do this, right? So you can use um, this replay tool, or you can use just the way I'm doing now. This is an area right here on this candle. This candle broke and closed above my buy alert right here. This next candle, this is the candle, and this is how you want to see a candle close above, to break and close above a level, right? This next candle is the candle that retests the entry, right? You would be looking to market execute once you see the candle comes back down to the entry and rejects it and pushes up. This is a perfect example of a break and retest for a buy right here, right? Is it this clean all the time? No, it's not. It's not this clean all the time, because sometimes this will come to our area and push down below it and reject later than it's supposed to, right? But we did get the break and close above, right? So that's a case like if we were going to use this structure high right here, right? Say we were looking to buy from here, right? We got a break and close above right here. The candle that followed didn't respect our level at this price. and it pushed down even further into a zone that would have been from here to here, right? And then this candle is the candle that broke and closed above, right? But you can see that the following candle didn't respect that high and it pushed in. So if you had market executed right here at this high, you would have been in drawdown until it turned around, right? But eventually it turned around, right? Your stop loss would have probably been around here, somewhere along this, somewhere below this. Um, but you never would have hit your stop loss, right? You even got another break and close above right here, where this one broke and closed above. And then the following candle did the same thing. It pushed down and then finally it bought, right? So those are two examples of where and how you would look for a buy, right? Now,
So where would you have taken your entry on the second one above?
right here,
On the second one, the second group. Yeah, where would you have taken entry? Because if the first one, the blue candle broke and closed above, the red one didn't respect it and dropped below. The second blue one broke above, but still wicked down. Was still wicked down. The third one wicked all the way down. Would you have taken it on that fourth candle way over there?
yeah, this is going to show something else too, right? So just because the candle break and close above, you still need to pay attention to price action, right? I'm glad you mentioned that. Because even though these candles broke and closed above, what's the price action telling you? The candlestick's telling you rejection, right? So yes, you can take your entry right here, but because these candles are rejecting, you have to be comfortable with the fact that you will likely be going into drawdown if you still believe that this is going to push up. That's the first thing. The second thing is when you see these kind of candles that are rejecting this structure high right here, you can be patient and wait until you actually get the rejection, which came from down here, right? And if you do that, you'll get a better price on your trade. You'll get a lower price than the people that tried to buy up here. But essentially, you both would be looking for this move up right here. And that finally happened at 10:45 right here, right? So it's kind of a personal preference, right? And what is your risk tolerance? So I would only, I won't say that one is better or worse, because sometimes if you get these rejection candles, they void, like they still push up and continue, right? So it's kind of like you got to pay attention to what's going on, and you got to understand and trust where you put your stop loss, right? If I'm putting a stop loss on this trade for this buy, it's below here, below this high, the little high that's right here, or right here, below this area right here. So I'm using this and this, right? I may have like a stop loss 1 and a stop loss 2, right? So as long as this holds this high, I'm good. But once it starts going into it, that's when I'm like, maybe I might need to consider that this trade might not be going in my direction, right? But it holds above this, okay, cool. Now it's finally good, right? So that's how you want to look at that. And then maybe if you get in right here and you see it rejecting right here, then you can do what's called a pop, right? Where you add on another entry right here. And Let's see if it'll go. But if you add on the entry here, your stop loss for both of the trades needs to be right here, where right here would be the first area where you consider a stop loss. This would be the next area you consider a stop loss. And if it, because it's rejecting this area, you could also add another entry right here. So you would have the entry that you took on the low and the high, and then you could take the rest of this trade. Now, let's look for the same thing for a sell. So, like this little area right here. And let's say this is our buy right here. This is our sell right here. Now, this is an example right here of it broke, but it never gave you a candle to push up to retest right here. So what you do, this candle just broke, right? And it flew, right? So some people will, you're supposed to look for this candle to push back up to entry, right? But it pushed close, so close to where there is already rejection right here. You don't enter this trade unless you just get in on the break, right? So what you're going to be looking for in this case is for price to go do whatever it's going to do, and understand that if price comes back around this area, which it did right here, and you see a sign of rejection, this is where you want to take the trade from, over here, because you know that it sold from here before, from this area, and now price has dropped as low as it's going to go. It's come back to this area, not all the way back, but it's right, it's showing signs of rejection. And this is the retest right here of this sell break. So this is an example of you taking a higher, a breaking retest from a higher time frame, where you would take your entry up here and trade back down to the lows that got created right here, right? In this case, you would have had a nice little trade right here. Let me see if I can find a better sell example.
Hey, Corey,
Yes,
how to identify this is a reversal or this is retest?
you're talking about
Like as
like
you were
this
telling
low.
in, as you were telling in buy, right? Buy example, just first, yeah, next to that,
Yeah.
yeah, this is red candle, right? So
Mhm,
suppose this is going up, and that red candle is showing this is going down, right? Uh,
mhm.
Now I have to enter, but means what I want to ask, I think my question is not clear. As I am looking in SPX, so on 15 minute it's going down, but again this is taking pullback, right? So yeah, go.
So I can answer it. I
Mhm,
understand what you're saying. So a lot of times when you guys are looking at the charts, you
mhm.
focus on one time frame. So you said the SPX,
Yeah, 15, yeah, this is, so
the
this is
15
making
minute.
lower low, right? So I was waiting for this reversal, so 4 time it took low, now this is new low, right? And
Mhm.
I am thinking when I can take buy from here.
So you're seeing this low
Mhm.
on what time frame?
15 minute.
15-minute, right?
Yeah. Mm.
But what information is the 30-minute giving you? It's a low on the 30-minute, right?
Mhm.
It's a low on the 1 hour, right?
Mhm.
What is it on the 4 hour? Nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing yet, right? So that means that it's not quite ready yet, right?
Okay.
So when you are looking to kind of figure out
Mhm.
like what direction or is something ready, right?
Mhm.
Look at the higher time frames first.
Okay.
Because like even on here, right?
Mhm.
On this chart, you'll start to see you know, if this is gonna reverse right here, yeah, you'll see it early on the, the lower time frame. You can see it as early as on the 1-minute chart where we got our low.
Mhm.
So our low is being rejected on the 1-minute. On the 5-minute is being rejected.
Right.
On the 15,
Mhm.
it looks like this is a solid low, right?
Mhm.
But until it says it on the higher time frames, we can't trust what it says on the 15-minute.
Okay. You mean to say, if I'm looking something like this, so first I should check on higher time frame, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Okay. So actually, I was on 15 minute and I was trying to do that, but again, you told us that V, right? Vector. So I was trying to find out when I'll get V, then I can enter for like I was looking for 5 to 10 pip. So
Mm-hmm.
I didn't get proper vector and entry, so I didn't enter. So yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure what should be exact thing. Am I on right path or not?
Yeah. You got to make sure
Oh,
you see it on all the time frames first.
okay, okay, got it. Thank you.
Because this wick that it made, it could be an entry. But on a lower time frame, but on a higher time frame, this may still need to make a wick that's
Right.
lower than this to make the low or a higher low, right? And it hasn't made it yet. And just like in this case on this area right here,
Mm-hmm.
so you were asking like, could this have been a reversal? Just like this was a reversal. On the
Yeah.
lower time frame, yeah. So if you're taking this from a lower time frame, you need to be considerate of the fact that maybe the higher time frame is showing something different.
Right.
So if I do sell this,
Mm-hmm.
I need to make sure I lock in profit.
Right. Right.
So if we look at the 4 hour, this would have been okay to buy because what's the 4 hour just told us? We got a low right here and
Mm-hmm.
holding it, right?
Right.
And it's showing us that it's support down here.
Mm-hmm.
So for us to have bought this from down here is
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yeah, on this blue candle, right? Low of this blue candle when it is coming back to retest the support, right?
From here, from
Uh,
here, the high it is, and even up here, it's okay.
okay,
So
got.
um, good example. Let's go back to topic. A good example of a sell break is right here. This would be our buy. This would be our area to sell in this area right here. First candle that broke was on this candle, right? And then let's zoom in. This is the candle that broke. The following two candles both retested this area. This one in particular, if it broke, closed below, this one came up, retested, rejected, it pushed a little bit into the zone, but it never closed above that. So you can take the same approach where you enter at the sell break, your stop loss should have been around here. If it kept going, well, your initial stop loss should have been around these lows right here. And then you could have had another one like, all right, if everything goes wrong, it's up above this high right here, right? So you could have popped right here to add on to it, and then the next candle would have dropped you into profit. Then you also got another retest right here off of these three candles where you got a sign that it was going to reject off of this candle, another sign it was going to reject off of this candle. This candle finally rejected. You can enter in on this candle right here, or on this candle, or on this candle. You just would have been in drawdown. Even got another rejection over here too, throughout these series of candles where you were pushing up, you got your first sign it was going to reject right here, another sign it was going to reject, another sign it was going to reject. It played around, so you would have been in and out of profit floating around. You could have entered on this candle, this candle, this candle, or this candle, and then it drops. You even got another rejection right here. You would only had this one candle to enter on right here. So don't make it harder than it is, guys. Don't make it harder than it is. I think a lot of people make, they just, I think it's patience more than anything. I think that you guys are maybe being a little impatient and like tricking yourself out of trades or tricking yourself into seeing stuff that you're not seeing. So don't take it out of context. And then this, all that we just did, someone asked about back testing, and that was
me, Corey.
Brian. Okay, for this is how I back test right here. Like I just go back through the charts and just draw up something. If I'm back testing, break and retest, this is how I do it. I just go back, throw some stuff on there, look at the way the candles was formed. Like maybe I wanted to break and retest this area right here. That was a good break. This the candle. I enter in on one of these candles and I trade, right? So that's how I back test, just like this. I just go through the charts. You can even use this replay tool where if you want to just see how the candle actually formed, you hit the replay tool and then it's going to let you place the replay point, which I chose this candle. And let's say we're going to trade the break and retest of this area right here.
So you hit that candle before you hit the replay?
Yeah.
Okay.
So no, I'm sorry. So if I'm going to replay this from there, right, I'm going to go to the time frame that I wanted to see this on. Then I'm going to hit replay, go to the candle that I want to replay off of. And then, I'm going to set it up based how I wanted to see it. So I'm going to buy here. I want to sell here, right? So if I hit, once I got everything set up, I'm gonna play. So right here, if I'm in the market right now, I would have just gotten an alert because this crossed my sell area, right? So now I'm sitting in the market. I'm like, cool, 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 right? It's about to break. It's about to break. It's about to break for the sell. Hang on. It didn't. It didn't break, right? It wicked it. It pushed down below, but it didn't. It came right back up into the zone. And then it gave me a nasty wick, right? So guess what? I wouldn't have, I would have gotten an alert on this trade for the sell and the buy, but neither one of those gave me an entry, right? So now it's gonna let it keep playing. This candle, right? This candle broken close, right? Could I take this entry? You could, but what is right here? What is this right here? Super, super rejection, right?
Mhm.
So I may not take this trade. Some people may, but I may not. So we let it play out. So if I don't take this trade, look what happened. Push down. I don't take this trade because it doesn't look how I want it to. And guess what happened? I'm immediately safe. The people who took this trade, they in drawdown, and now they just hoping. Now they just hoping, right? Let it keep going. Now they just hoping. Now they got stopped out, right? Because even if they popped, right? This may have been your stop loss. Your low stop loss would have been here. So this probably would have been your stop loss, right? And then your low stop loss would have been here. Even when they tried to pop right here, it still took them out. But on the other hand, the people who waited for me and waited like I did, we looking at the alert for the sale again right here because we just crossed it, right? So let's see what happened. Broken close. That was our retest entry right here. This candle broke and closed right here. And the next candle gave us our entry. Now let's see how much money we're gonna make.
So that's what buying the break is, right?
Yep,
On that next candle.
yep. Now all we doing is seeing how much money we make. Bam.
So you're saying people would have been waiting for a buy or trying to get into a buy
Yeah.
in the beginning?
Well, I just showed you 3 scenarios, right? So right here, when we first put the replay, we were on this candle right here. This candle pushed down with our sell, right? The next candle pushed down below our sell. It did not close below. So even though we would have got alerted on this trade that our alert was triggered, we would have not taken this trade because these 2 candles only wick our sell. They never closed above, right? And then when it pushed up and bought. We thought it was going to buy, right? It pushed up above. It alerted us that it was going to go for the buy. And then this candle only wicked it, right? The next candle actually broke and closed above. But like I told you earlier, some people would have taken this trade once they saw this candle break and close above. And this candle retested the entry, they would have been looking to buy right here. But I would not recommend this because of all this rejection right here. But some cases you can take this for the buy. If you had took this for the buy, you would have been in drawdown and you would have lost this trade, even though it broke and closed above, right? Because in this case, even though it broke and closed above, there also came a lot of rejection off of these candles. So it's not just looking at the break and close above, you also need to understand what the candles are telling you too, right? These two candles said sell. This candle said sell, right? And even if this was going to be a buy, right, it wasn't ready to buy, right? Because it's rejecting the highs right here. So maybe in some cases you'll see that it'll reject, push down and buy from somewhere around here or somewhere around here, you know, it just wasn't ready for it to buy. And in this case, it pushed up, rejected, it sold off, and it wasn't ready to buy or try to buy until it got down here. So
if those would have closed out higher, does that mean it would have went into the buy?
these candles right here,
The blue ones, yeah.
no,
Further,
no, like I said, this candle closed above,
but I
but
mean like higher to the top.
near
Like
the
that
wick,
one there would have closed out up on top, the first candle that wicked.
this one,
Yeah. And then the next candle, if it would have closed up top up there too.
right? So, and that bring up another good question. Good question, by the way. This would bring up something else, right? So this candle right here, let's say it closed up here, right? Close up here. If we look to the left, right, on a higher time frame, I can't switch it because I got this. What do we have right here? Previous rejection, right?
Yeah.
So because this opened so close and pushed up so close to this previous rejection, and it didn't actually, and even if this closes all the way up here, you don't get into this trade because it's near an area where it could reject. So you would notice from the higher time frame, but I got to show you from the 15-minute because we're replaying from the 15-minute.
Oh, okay.
Just like if it had a pushed all the way up here, right? We would know, like, for one, this is where our TPs would be. Some TPs would be at these areas already. We know that. And a lot of times when you have price break out a structure and push immediately to an area that it could reject from, that's usually a sign that it's about to reverse. Okay.
Got it.
So it's not recommended that you just jump into it once it's near this area. The only way you would get into it near this area is if it consolidated near here.
Oh, okay.
Then pushed up. Then you would just trap price again. It would look like this, right? We trap price right here. And then we would look to trap price up here, trade the breakout of price to be sideways in the area up here. And then you'd either take the buy from here or you take the sell from there. That's how you would do that.
Got it.
Got it? So our patience in this case worked out because here was our actual breaker structure. Here was our retest candle right here. And then we got another entry. We got 3 entries potentially. This candle, this candle, this candle, and then we drop. And if we keep playing the replay, right, what happens after that? Oh, wow, we got even more money. We got even more money because it made this low all the way down here. And then based off of this, the trade we would have took would have been 50 pips, 56 pips on EA. That's a good trade. These two are the best ways to backtest. Like where I go through it from this manner, where I would just go through the charts like we went through the first time, or we use the replay tool. And then, you know, of course, copy this, save it, on your little notes or whatever. Let me show you what I do. Let me show you what I do. I'm back testing something right now. This is all my notes off of this. This is something else. I'm back testing these, my notes right here. And then this is what my back test notes look like, right? So I can go back and understand everything that I'm looking at, right? Or everything that was, that I found out when I was back testing, right? And you put your notes. So in this case, let's see. This was the sell break. And the alert triggered. But it didn't close below. So right here, price alerted us, didn't close below. Over here, price alerted us for the buy, but it pushed up near the area of rejection. All right. Then right here, price did finally break and close above, but near rejection and candlestick rejected. Some people would have entered on the next candle. For the buy. And in our case, we would wait it due to the candlestick rejection. Right? That's our note right here. Then finally, here, the sell is triggered again. Candle closes it below. Candle breaks and closes below. Then we get 3 candles to retest our entry. Area for the sale. All right, so this is break and retest. This you study over and over again right here. You go, matter of fact, here, I'm gonna send you guys this, and I want you to study just this right here, because this gave you a bunch of good examples.
Corey, can I say something real quick?
What's up?
Um, on the buy break that almost looked like a fake out, it was almost a full candle, even though there was really short in size. The body was short. It went over the buy, for the breakout. Whereas on the sell, you really had mostly doji looking candles with long wicks just touching it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So it's almost like a judgment call.
Mm-hmm.
Typically what I tend to do is I look at the trend, and if the trend is down, a downtrend, I'll lean more to the sell and keep my stop loss tight.
Mm-hmm. Right.
But those candles do fake you out sometimes.
Exactly. That's a good way to look at it too. And what you said about this is important, because the thing about this versus this, right? The candle that actually broke this, and here's where the ugly comes into play, right? So we saw the good, we saw the bad, and here's where the ugly come into place, right? The way that this candle broke and closed above, it pushed all the way up here back near rejection area, right? And then it finally closed right here. But this candle, the difference is this candle broke and closed, but it didn't give us this ugly wick right here. It did it real smooth, right? It came down, rejected, broke, closed below. Now these candles come up wick in the area that we wanted. This is probably a perfect entry right here. This is what you would want to see, right? Let me delete this. I don't need this alert. Right. This is the best entry you would want to see for a buy or a sell. There is a way I can flip this over to, I think, invert scale right here. Like if this was a buy, look at this. This candle broke and closed. This candle rejected and then pushed up, because I just flipped it over. So we just looking at this from the opposite direction. If this was a buy, because this is telling us to sell from, let me flip it back over. This right here is actually telling us to sell right here, this candle. So let me screenshot this. And I'm gonna drop it in the chat.
Hey Corey, you know where all your notes were? Is that a part of the TradingView app, or is that something else that you just have?
That's just something I have. That's my notes app on my laptop. I'm a very, very avid note taker. So yeah, this is just notes. right here. And like I showed you before, like this is what
Which comes in means everywhere in every laptop. It's notes. It's that is the thing, right?
Yep. Just like, I mean, there's notes on your Windows computers too, you know. There's sticky notes on there too, you know. So yeah, this is how you back test. This is what you would want to be looking for when you back test. I like using the replay, or I'll just go back and use the just scroll back on the charts, and then this is what I would be looking for. So, you know, the more you do this, the more you'll get yourself familiar with how the candles react and how they look when they form. And another trick to this is, you know, um, paying attention to how candles are formed in particular. Like, so I pause this right here, and you'll notice that this candle pushed down first in this near low. It opened up and it immediately went down. And then it started to reject because we got this little bitty wick right here. Pay attention to how your candles open and close, right? When you watching the market live, right? So let's look at Bitcoin right quick. Now, and let's look at Bitcoin on the 1 minute. So the way the candle opens will usually give you a sign of what the direction of it is probably going to be, right? I'm near high or low. This candle opened up, immediately pushed down. There's probably going to be a point where it rejects, like it's doing right now. Does this necessarily mean that this is going to go up? No, it doesn't. But usually when a candle is created, it's going to have a wick on the top, a wick on the bottom, right? So a lot of times you can understand where the wick on the top and the wick on the bottom is going to be by paying attention to where the candle opens up and how it opens up. If a candle is near a low, right, I actually want to see the candle go down first, then reject for it to buy, right? And that's the same thing you want to look for when you look for your retest entries, right? If I'm selling this, right, let's say this was our sell break right here, and I'm selling this, right? Price is coming down near our low right now, right? If I'm selling this and I'm looking for a break and close below, right? I want to see the candle open up to the top first, then reject and come down if it's going to break for the sell. If it's going to break for the buy, I want to see the candle. I mean, if it's going to reject for the buy, I want to see the candle open up and immediately push down, then reject and take the buy. If I was looking at this live, right, to trade this. So our candle opened up, it pushed up, and then it pushed down. So it started to sell. So if I'm looking at this, I have my alert right here. Let's say we got an alert, crosses this on the 1 minute. And say we have for 2 hours. And I'm just gonna leave this right here, right? See what happened with this. And then let's put another one right here. Keep an eye on this. All right, this is our buy, this is our sell. And we just gonna go back to our other chart. Let me come back to this. Pop up. Okay. Place pop up. Place. Okay, cool. So this is how it would actually look, right? We set our alerts. We going about our business. We talking about throughout the day, right? And we got our rejection. It just crossed. We just got our rejection on the phone. Okay, cool. It broke. All right. It just broke. Are we gonna sell this, right? It just broke and closed below. Now this candle need to come back up here. And it's giving us a good sign because it opened up and immediately pushed up, right? It immediately push up. So now we need it to retest this area. If it doesn't retest this area, then we just wait, right? So we don't want to just get in the trade. It's rejecting it again. I mean, it's here again. Now we want to see it reject. You could have got in right here, first entry. This is the 1 minute, so it's moving a little faster than it would. So let's see if it give us another entry. Or is it that's gonna break and go? Another thing you just saw is you can do this on the 1 minute chart too. That's what we just see. Right? We can do rake and retest on every time frame. You just gotta look for a certain amount of pips. Like your target not gonna be as big. Right now it's rejecting. Take your next entry or take your first entry or whatever the case is. This one opened up, pushed up. So now you're in drawdown. You're in drawdown on this one, right? If you entered in right here. But on a higher time frame, if we looking at this from the 1 minute, this would have actually been probably like 50 pips, right? So if I'm looking at this, I probably would have already had my stop loss in profit because this is about 50 pips right here, and equivalent to this, right? And even if I didn't have it in at break even, I would have known that this could reverse, right? So in this case, it would have been good. We just had a little drawdown, but this trade would have been good. But that was a perfect example of what you would have looked for right here on this little 1 minute chart. You guys saw, you guys got a good live example off of the 1 minute. That's why I like to use ABC to make it a little simple. 0 is my line. That's my close. That's my retest. This my drop. 0, A, B, C. That's what you're getting. So back over here, let's find a buy example. We're gonna do the same thing. All right, so right here, we formed some consolidation, right? So what are we gonna do? Here's our low. This is where I'm gonna sell. Here's my high. This is where I'm gonna buy. And I'm gonna wait and see if this breaks the high or this low, right? Now let's see what happens. Alert just went off, right? The alert just got triggered, right? Now, in this particular instance, this broke, but the next candle immediately pushed up. So again, here's an example of where some people would have jumped in this trade. Some people wouldn't, right? Let me clean that up. It's just like, some people would have gotten this trade, some people wouldn't, right? I probably would have even had enough time to react to this. So I probably wouldn't have gotten this trade, but if they did, for the sell, your stop loss initially is right here. And then the next stop loss is the buy break, right? So if you got in the buy, I mean the sell from here, right? So let's put a note. This one triggered. And it closed below. So in this case, if we zoom in a little bit, though this closed below, would you necessarily get into this? Nah, yeah, no, maybe. It's kind of like play it up to you. You got to play this one by ear right here, right?
I would wait for another candle.
Yeah, yeah. So if you waited, you're not in this trade, right? If you didn't wait, you just got stopped out. So let's note that. If you enter, you
Patience is the key.
yep, for a sale, you would have been stopped out. In this case, it closed below, but barely. Okay, so we hit the play, and now we just got alerted for the buy, right? No close. It wigged, didn't give us entry. That's okay. This one is the first candle that closed above, right? It didn't give us an entry, right? Initially. So what are we gonna do? The next candle, this candle broke and closed too far above because our target would have been over here, right? Where are we right here? We're close to a rejection area. And then what immediately happens, right? This candle immediately rejects that area. So we don't get in up here. We wait for it to come back to us, right? And if it comes, it came back to us, and what happened? Rejected. We got an entry right here, right? We got our entry on these two candles. Let me note that.
Equally.
Mm-hmm.
So for this entry, you are confirmed here to enter, or again you will push your push for that uh, up, open, down, and then go up and rejection.
Yeah,
You will for that for this candle.
this candle did it right here.
Yeah, for this third candle you will enter, right?
On this candle or on this candle.
Okay. Okay.
So this candle broke and closed near rejection. So we wait. That's this candle right here. Then this candle, these two candles right here gave us the entry. And we would have been in profit.
So when the bearish candle closed, right at the break, that wouldn't alarm you like, oh man, it might be going for a sell because it's red.
Yep.
You would have still jumped in for the buy.
It would have alerted me for that it may sell off, right? But the opening of this next candle, that's when I would have really took my entry off of this third candle.
So you just waited to see what it do.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
When I see something like this, I'm expecting this to push lower because we are at a rejection area. And it pushed so hard up close to where our target would have been. Because really our target would have been like right at this high, right? So if we were to just take the break right here, we would have hit target 1. And knowing that, right, you got your same little ABC set up, right? Where this is your 0, this is your A, this is your B, then you're looking to get the C.
Corey, can I say something real quick?
What's up?
You know the comment I made earlier about the way the wick didn't go all the way down and stuff like that? And I'm thinking about the basketball, you know, the ceiling, the floor.
Mm-hmm.
And if you look at where you are in the lower low, it didn't, like if it was going to go through the ceiling, it would have really had to go through that ceiling. So therefore the candle, you know, on the buy side of it, it really went through the ceiling, which made a new floor. So that bounce was going to be good to go up some more, if that makes sense.
Yep.
So that's that's just my basic way of looking at it.
Yep, that's right. And based off of taking this trade for the buy, we would have been in some good profit on this trade. So let's look at this. Let me just draw this. This is our sell example. I just want to note this so that when I send you guys this, you guys can see.
I have a question when you get done explaining that, Corey.
Okay. This is our sell example. And I'm doing all this because I want you guys to keep this. and use this as an example. So that when you guys have these questions about what it should look like, this is what it should look like.
I want to keep this in my treasure.
Yep. Want you guys to keep this. And okay. All right. So now let it play. We reject it, right? We're near rejection, right? That's why we pick those targets. Then we even got another entry, but it's still right here. We even got another entry for the sell right here. But what happened right here, it just wicked us and it broke. Didn't give us an entry, right? So could you have taken that? If you're watching the chart, you can get in the break all you want to, right? If you're watching the chart, but you need to get the retest of the sell, right? So what does that ever happen? Nope. Unless you maybe could have used this right here. But here's a good example of, in this case, right here. Remember how I told you, you don't want to see it. Remember how I told you that it will push down to a rejection area, right? Where we got these wicks are rejection areas. And then what happens? It consolidated near those areas, right? So what do? In this case, you box in this area right here. And you trade the breakout of this. There's your candle that broke. There's your retest candle. There's your drop. It did reverse on you, but you would have still been able to trade it to the next rejection area. When you get into something like this, you know this is where it should have broke from, right? So if I'm getting into this anywhere lower than this, there's probably another area of rejection that came right here, right? And then what happened? It reversed. So if I take this trade from here, I need to lock in profit for sure. Like that's only a TP1 or, at the most, right? So we let it play. But guess what? Even though it rejected right here, it finally came back up and gave us the sell that we would have missed over here, right here. Gave us the sell near our sell entry. We wouldn't have got triggered on this because it didn't actually touch the line, but it rejected within a couple pips of it. Like this only missed this by mm, 1 pip. It's only missed this by 1.7 pips. So you still would want to take this trade. You would just need to just check it. You know what I mean? And maybe because you saw it didn't come all the way up, maybe you put your alert right here at this level instead. And if you do that, now you got this alert triggered right here. But that's just, hearsay, right? Even in this case, it broke, closed below, rejected, sold, begin the trade. It rejected, pushed up, rejected, could have sold it again right there, right? And you would have known again, right? This would have been a TP area right here. This would have been a potential TP area right here. This would have been a potential TP area right here. And guess what? In this case, you would hit all three of your TPs on this trade for 54 pips. And this is a live example right here. So, any questions?
I have a situation kind of question. Like you gave me this example, right? And we missed entry from 1 or 2 pip, right?
Mhm.
So suppose entry is very good, everything is going very good, but means very good, but you have some distraction and you missed 1 or 2 pip. In that case, should you enter? No,
Nope.
doesn't matter. Our entry is good.
If
Okay.
you missed it, you missed it.
Because
Like, and I mean, if you missed it, like say for instance, we missed this, it pushed down, right?
Mhm.
You know, the next thing for you to do is, all right, cool. Is it going to consolidate right here?
Mhm.
Yeah, if it consolidates, then I'm boxing this in, and
Okay.
then I'm going to trade
Where you at?
and retest out
Oh,
up
thought I
here.
heard noise back there.
Okay.
Thought I heard noise back there.
Got it.
Then you just trade the break and retest out of whatever the next minor consolidation is.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
So even right here, came back again, right here.
Yeah.
With it. Now you got your entry again, right? This is
Mhm.
why you don't jump in, right? Because if you had to wait it,
Mhm.
it finally came back right here.
Mhm.
And then you in the trade without having to worry about it. You would have got your wick entry right here,
Mhm.
and you would have got your drop.
Yeah.
And
This if this kind of entry is ready, right? And I missed that because of some distraction at home. Then
mhm.
should I enter or not?
This, like this,
Yeah. This is perfect thing, right? To enter.
well, like I'm saying, like you would have missed, like you when we were here, that's when you said you missed the entry, right?
Yeah, because it didn't happen, right? It didn't touch. So
You
this
touched-
in next case, it touched that sell the break, right? And now I can enter on this, right? But I missed that just because of my personal things. So should I enter on this or not?
In this case,
Yeah.
this would be where, like, so I'm only, I mean, I can only just say this based off of, like, so if you missed this, you missed this, then you just missed the trade.
Okay. Okay.
And if it comes back again, you look at it, see if we get any rejection. and then you take the trade, you know, but in a case like this, I'm either just waiting to see if it's going to consolidate right here
Mhm,
or somewhere in this area,
mhm,
and I'll trade the break and retest of that,
mhm.
or I wait, see if it rejects and take the trade from there. But like, you know, I don't just jump in the trade.
I got it. Missed it means missed it.
You missed it, you missed it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, got it. Thank you.
So even if it's hanging around, or like when it opens, it's just hanging around close to that entry point?
You can, like in these couple candles right here,
Yeah,
like say you missed this and then price just hung around up here. This is still valid.
right.
This is still valid.
It's
So,
once it starts moving, you just leave it alone.
yep.
Okay.
Really, once you get this bullish engulfing candle, you need to just sit on your hands because that means these little candles up here are still trying to figure out which way they're going to go. But this candle has told you it's going down.
Yeah.
This candle told you where it's going right here. And until you get some more sideways candles right here, you take this little thing over here. Now it's still saying it's going down. That's maybe you can get into this trade right here to keep going for the sale.
Okay. The question I had, do you only trail your stop loss in certain pairs, or is it on all pairs that you trade?
All pairs.
So this up here, the question I had where it's circled to the left of that 1.62. Yeah, right there.
Right here.
Yeah. So if you got in on that green candle right there and you trailed it up to the top, to where that first black line was, and then it came back down, you already hit that area once, correct?
Right.
On that first green candle. So when it came back down and then it went back up, those are also pips that you're grabbing, crossing that black line again.
Yeah. So another thing that I do when I trade, right? Let's say this is my entry right here. This would have been my stop loss right here. My target right here, right? Let's just say that that's the case, right?
Mhm.
Now, I know I got a target where it is, the black line is right there. I probably got another one right here. And then my ultimate target is coming back up here, right?
Okay.
When I take this trade, I take a piece out of my trade right here, a
Oh,
piece out
okay.
of my trade right here. And then I'll leave it a last piece of my trade in right here. And if it tries to go up above this, then I'll just stay in the trade. But by the time I'm hitting these first, second, third targets, I only have a piece of my trading still left, right? And the reason why you do that is these targets are just marks and lines on the chart. They're not guaranteed. What's guaranteed is once you enter your trade and you're in profit, you can close some of that out. That's the only time a target is guaranteed is when you're there already and you see that you can close out some of the trade. Anything else is just hope and a prayer, right? Um,
But that's considered trailing it. If you put the
scaling out.
TP, it takes you out, correct?
That's considered scaling out.
Oh, scaling. Okay.
And you can scale in, you can scale out. That's what that's considered.
And the TPs actually just stop you.
Right,
Okay.
right. So these are some good, this was a good session. because I know everybody be struggling with how to enter their trade. That a lot of times that's the hardest thing for people to learn is how to enter.
I am
And
still struggling in this.
huh,
And when to enter, when not to enter.
when to enter, when not to enter, and when to exit. Those are like the hardest. They're the easiest, but they're the hardest thing.
Yeah.
So on that note, on that note, dang man, I'm going to upload this recording, and for you guys that want it, send me a message on Discord, and I meant to live stream it so I wouldn't have to save it and upload it, but you know, I'll send you guys the YouTube link after I upload it to YouTube so that I don't have to keep this on my cloud drive. And then don't share out the link, please. It's just for you guys um, to use it. And then make sure you guys keep that screenshot of this. Okay?
I have a question again. You said do not use the price for when you're setting your alerts. Don't use price because I always use price.
Yeah, I recommend that
what's wrong with it doing it that way again?
I just don't think it's accurate, right? I mean, I know people that do it, but I would rather, I recommend people use, if they're going to have a break sale, make it based off of that. Like,
okay. You know why? Because when Kim does Sundays, you know, she gives us all the numbers. So
right.
I usually set them using her numbers.
Right.
Versus,
and I'll show you that. I'll show you what to do. So you put the line at the price, right? If the line is going to be at the price, the coordinate here, right here, this is going to be my alert. I'm still going to come to here to the line and make it off of here. Just going to drop the line at the alert. That's the only thing.
Okay.
I just don't, I don't know, like maybe it's just me being crazy. And maybe it's just me. Like I don't feel comfortable at, because I've missed alerts, making the alerts off the price versus the line, a horizontal line or one of these other lines. They seem to work more accurately to me than just using the price. Because like I've used some price alerts and I was like wondering like why I didn't hit my alert. I don't know if it was just because I entered it wrong, but you know, maybe I'm wrong, you know. But
okay, well, no, I mean, I'll use, I mean, I know how to do the line, but I always use the price because she gives us those numbers on Sundays.
Yeah.
So then I was all excited about getting, I upgraded TradingView with the Black Friday, so I can do more alerts now.
Mm-hmm.
So I was excited about putting all the numbers in, but I guess I'll just I'll do the lines.
Yeah, it'll work the same, but I trust the lines more so than I trust the numbers. Like,
all right, well, and then you showed us some good things like the trend line, if you do a trend line, and then the pivots, you can put it right there too. So I'll you know, I'll play with it some more. But okay, I just wanted to see why you thought that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Corey, what's your YouTube?
It's Corey Forex.
Okay.
I got a lot of videos that are unlisted. So this won't be listed. It'll be you'll have to get the link from me. That's why I told everybody to just send me a message and I'll send it to you individually.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Yeah.
I most definitely want it. Thank you.
Send me a message in the Telegram or on Discord, and I will make sure that you get it.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right,
Hey,
y'all.
Corey, I have a question.
Oh, what's up?
How do
You broke up.
we?
You broke up.
Oh, I do apologize. I was wondering if there is a specific group to be part of on Telegram.
Oh, I was talking about my team chat for my team.
Oh, okay.
But like I said, you can just hit me on Discord too.
Wonderful. Thank you. I'll go ahead and send you a message. I'd like to have the recording, please, so I can rewatch it over and over again.
Okay. It'll take about 20 minutes or so for this to upload, and then I'll start sending the link out.
Thank you so much.
All right. You guys have a good night.
Corey, I have a question
Okay.
Related to that notes. So I make notes in notes like on Mac, right?
Mhm.
And I have one Mac Windows also, so I make notes on that. So means can I connect to both? Means whenever I open, I get all notes together.
Yeah. There is a way. You have to use some kind of cloud account. Let's see. So if you go to accounts, these are the options that you have, right? So I got notes from my cloud account, and I got a Google account notes on here too. So this save notes from both. And if you have notes on your Windows computer and you have your Google account added to it, it'll save the notes on there and you will see them on both sides.
Okay, got it.
Don't think you can add your cloud notes on Windows, but
I can do Google.
you can do Google. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much.
And you can use your AOL account too. I don't know who still have one of those.
I don't have that.
Yeah.
Mhm. I'll try this Google one.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right. Okay. Have a good
Thanks,
night.
Corey. Appreciate it.
No problem.